What's up? Semen retention. Men will be a outcast in this generation and attacked by degenerates. When you retain nowadays in this generation, man, and you care about your relationship with God, and you care about your purpose in life, and you care about being the best man you can be in life, you're gonna attract people who think you lame, who think you corny, who think you boring. You get what I'm saying? You're gonna attract people like that because all they're doing is degenerate stuff. And in this generation we live in now, man, there's so many people who just don't care about having a relationship with God. They don't care about controlling their sexual energy. And I feel like the only way we're gonna get ahead in life is if we quit all the degenerate stuff. We put down the guns and acting like a thug or this straight up violence and stuff, and we throw that away, and we start having more men, especially black men, who care about a relationship with God, who care about working hard in life, who care about being somebody in life. you know a lot of these guys don't care about that. They just want to be thugs. They just want to look good to the girls. They want to be cool and act dangerous and try to be dangerous in front of the girls and stuff. Because nowadays, man, like, so many dudes are do anything. A lot of the degenerate men, they do anything just to look good in front of a girl. They don't care about themselves. They just care about the look of stuff. You know, they care about the superficialness of everything. You know, they still care about being cool and impressing people. I think when you get on senior attention, you really start looking at, I'm about to get my life together. You get what I'm saying? I'm about to be the best version of myself. So I'm really about to go in life. You get what I'm saying? But that's going, you know what I'm saying, attract people who are the exact opposite of that, because they see you trying in life. When they see you trying and you're not doing nothing dumb, they're going to come after you. They're going to think you a lame person. You're going to get picked on. A lot of times nowadays, man, you get around people, bro. You get around the wrong friend group. They'll make you feel like you a weirdo. They'll make you feel like you lame. You know, I remember a long time ago, I was talking to one of my friends or a group of my friends, and they was like laughing at me because I was like, man, I only want one girlfriend and I want a wife one day. And they was like laughing and like, you know what I'm saying? And they was like, man, they was like, I got hoes and I got four girlfriends and I got this and I got that. And they was laughing at me because I was like, I want one girlfriend and one wife or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, man, I've made mistakes where I should have worked harder in life. I should have went harder. And it was because I think a lot of it was me. I took accountability, but it was also the people who I was hanging around that was holding me back, because I was in between mindsets of, oh, let me look cool. Oh, and now let me take my life serious. Let me try to look like them and the people who don't care about anything. And now let me take myself serious and work hard. I was always in between that, because I used to hang around. I used to have a friend group. I don't know what you want to call it, but, you know, you can't hang around people that don't care about their life really. You get what I'm saying? I'm talking about from an aspect of who I want to be as a person, the type of accomplishments and success I want in life, or you want in life. Uh you're gonna be attacked, bro, because you're not gonna be doing degenerate stuff. You're gonna be following God. That's gonna make people not like you. You get what I'm saying? That's really gonna make people not like you, and people gonna see your energy changing and stuff, man. Cause I just think of it when I think about semen retention, even though I haven't got to this best level, or I haven't got on a good streak or anything like that. I just think of the version of myself that never procrastinates, that never, you know what I'm saying? Uh, I always follow the habits I need to make me better in life. I'm never doing the bad habits, and I'm really being the best version of myself. When I think about me being like that, man, I see more people And I understand that I'm not gonna get more love from people when I actually keep upgrading myself mentally and physically, and I start caring about myself more and more. That's gonna attract people who don't take care of themselves. That's gonna make people see their insecurities in themselves, and they're gonna try to project it on you because they see you trying to do something. And I remember I had a cousin where I used to hang out with him, and I love him. You know what I'm saying? He's my cousin, but he was one of those guys where he didn't really care about nothing. He always was putting on the, oh, I'm a thug persona. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't a thug at all. You get what I'm saying? Not saying he wasn't a tough guy. I'm just saying he wasn't what he was making himself out to be a lot of the times when it came to, you know what I'm saying, being a thug or whatever. And he used to pick on my other little cousins because they cared about school. They cared about being in college. They cared about, doing something with their life. And I'm a guy where, it ain't like I just follow it because I want to be my own type of person. I ain't trying to follow nobody. You get what I'm saying? But I respect people who work hard and want to be somebody in life, especially when they're young. And then to have an older cousin kind of hate on them because he not really doing much, and you get what I'm saying? He's seeing them sign and he not signing, you know? And everybody got potential. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying a cousin don't got potential, but you know what I'm saying? Like, don't hate on somebody just because they to a place where you wish you was. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, man, we gotta have, especially in I feel like the black community, we gotta have more young men that are masculine but also care about themselves, and they care about being somebody. They care about helping the black community, and not and I'm saying it because I'm a black man myself, but just with any man, you know what I'm saying. We gotta leave the generous, leave the degenerate people over there, and we gotta get as many people to actually care about themselves and care about their life, care about being with somebody, you know, and care about, you know what I'm saying, having a positive impact on the world and making sure everybody care about themselves. You get what I'm saying? And is working hard to be the best version of themselves. I just think that's really important, you know, because you're gonna get attacked by a lot of people when you start living how God wants you to live, and you tapping into what God called you to do on this earth. And I don't mean that as in, because obviously, you know what I'm saying. We got a relationship with God, spreading the gospel and stuff like that. But what I mean by you're tapping into your God given purpose, what are you good at in life that you can do for a living that you love? You get what I'm saying, and you have a purpose with it, so you're helping a lot of people. That's what I think. Your God given purpose is. It's not just this, this miserable stuff where you just waking up and going to work and you don't care about anything else, and it's kind of like mindless. You don't have to use your creativity. You don't have to use your creativity. You don't have to use your mind. That's what a slave is. A slave is just doing hard labor and not thinking about anything. The people who actually making the money and are in control and stuff, and they're like the creators of it. Those the guys who are maybe not doing the physical labor. Those the people who's they're controlling and they're setting up everything. You get what I'm saying? And they're saying how stuff is gonna be, and then they have people under them to go and work for it and build it and make it. You know what I'm saying? When you get on superintendent, you become a guy that's like, you become the boss. You get what I'm saying? You don't have an employee mindset. You don't have a just wake up and do it mindset. You have a wake up and create it mindset. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's just very important. That's all I got to say. He's out.